Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Brilliance in Commerce fantastic conference of March 6, 2019. We have a very exciting program for you today. As you may know, Robert Sakahara is going to join us and his lovely consort, Christine, as well. I'm going to share with you some foundational information in the beginning. We have the global renaissance happening, a cosmic renaissance, a transition completing itself between the Dark Age and the Golden Age. And the global currency reset is also the consciousness reset. So all of that is unfolding now as we move forward. Thank you for joining us. We have a few offerings of our company, Brilliance in Commerce, a project of La Vérité, which means the truth in French, House of Freedom International Natural Law Trusts, Liberty Debt Elimination System, and affiliations with various special offers. We are members of the Worldwide Charter for Fair International Commerce. We have our certificates and all that. You can see all that on the website. And for those of you not already on our newsletter list, please join us. And you're welcome to be also part of our team, our community, our affiliate network, if you're not already. house-of-freedom-trust.com, and also 360 is our phone number, 200-7521. We are preparing for a change. A lot of already great battles have been won, a lot of progress made behind the scenes. The light is advancing, the victories are pouring in. And so therefore, those who are insiders, those who are tuned in to the inside news, know that a tremendous amount is already happening. Saint Germain, the great ascended master, is said to be one of the main spiritual forces behind this reset. And so there is a lot of information regarding his predictions for America and for the global dawning of a golden age. This is an age characterized by beauty. It is an age that returns to the light emanating from the great central sun within the nucleus of the atom of every part of matter, within the third density plane. The plane manifesting from within our physical bodies, our DNA, the animals, the birds, the plants, the very rocks, the dirt, the sky, the clouds, the rainbows, the stars. This entire experience in this dimension of the universe is going through its cyclic change every 52,000 years, divided by 4, which is about 13,000 years in the cosmic cycles. And this time, it should last a lot longer. It perhaps could be permanent. And it's in a much more mature phase of the human evolution, finally. My name is Tonson Fairmont. I'm the founder of Brilliance in Commerce. I'm on the board of advisors of Monaco Management Group, and I've been a speaker at various radio shows, offshore investment seminars, author of Sovereignty Consciousness and the Forthcoming Cosmic Renaissance. I want to share a story with you. You'll see here, for those of you watching by video, the global capital of the Age of Enlightenment founded by His Holiness Maharishi Mahesh Yogi in the 70s, 1975. I was there, 76. That was also known as the world government of the Age of Enlightenment, a parental role, not a claim to territory. And not the old dominating idea of government, but the government that gives love, that gives freedom, that gives consciousness, that is sovereign in the domain of consciousness. So this place is Salisbury, Switzerland, which is on Lake Lucerne. In German, it's known as Vierwaldstättersee. It's one of the most beautiful places in Switzerland. It's just above the birthplace of Switzerland, called Rüdli. And this is the place where much of the activity has started from the 70s on forward to the 80s, 90s, 2000s, and up to the present day. This place is still operating. It is a place where you can go for health treatments. You can go for purification according to Maharishi Ayurveda. the revival of the ancient science of perfect wellness derived from the ancient golden ages and revived in its full profundity and accuracy for deep meditation and preparation of the physiology for higher states of consciousness. 1 week treatments there usually cost a few $1,000s, and they involve all kinds of gem therapy, laser light therapy, herbs, and of course the personalization, the customization according to your particular dosha. That means your physiology, characteristics. And this was some of the activity happening in the 70s. It's carried forward to today. Talking about the great scientific conferences he was having and invincibility to every nation. There is a scientific principle called the Meissner effect, which means a field of higher coherence cannot be penetrated by an influence of lower coherence. And so if you want protection, all you have to do is go into your own unbounded pure bliss consciousness deep within yourself, radiate that out into your physiology as a direct experience, not just as a thought or an imagination or a visualization, but an actual physical, measurable effect. And that creates a field of protection, a field of invincibility. And when that is manifested and multiplied by large groups of people, it can create an exponentially more powerful, amplified field of protection and invincibility for an entire nation. This is Maharishi, who came from the Himalayas in the 50s to bless the world, traveling around America, Europe, and all the rest of the countries in the world, and in the mid-70s inaugurating the dawn of the Age of Enlightenment for all continents, and then left the body in 2008 and left an organization behind him with a university and academies and institutes all over the world. He has the Transcendental Meditation Method, which is the revival of the ancient Golden Age way of going into the unified field of oneself effortlessly, the supreme wisdom of Sri Vidya Raja Yoga. Scientific research has been done on this method more than any other method in the world for higher consciousness, by far, and published in major universities. And the advanced techniques, the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which include the supernormal powers. That includes the yogic flying, which the body lifts up off the cushion, and they have found that EEG brainwave coherence is at its maximum during that liftoff of the cushion. These are some of the yogic flyers who experience that. You could experience it. I experienced it. It's not hard. It's part of the human experience. It's part of the human capability. It's nothing special. It doesn't even require that one be fully established in cosmic consciousness. It just requires that one get access to it in deep meditation and then practice certain formulas that are correctly revived because they had fallen into distortion and dilution and mistakes in the Dark Age. But now the accurate, precise, correct way of doing the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras have been revived. So you see maximum coherence during yogic flying. And this isn't just for circus acts. It's not just for being flashy. It's not just being sensational. It is actually for bringing world peace. I was flown to Iran in '78 at the end of the Shah's reign because there was a lot of violence there. The World Peace Project brought in yogic flyers, and the crime and violence went down by 78% during the 2 months that we were there. And when we left, it went back up again. So these studies have been published at Yale and many universities around the world. They have never been able to be refuted because the research is so impeccable. They've been replicated many, many times and proven by time series analysis, which eliminates the possibility of arriving at these results by chance or manipulation. Seelisberg, Switzerland, I mentioned a few minutes ago. Here's another picture. And this, as I said, is a place you're welcome to visit sometime. We're going to be talking about prosperity today, of course. You're going to have the funds to do this. You're going to want to know where are the places in this world where you can get full physical rejuvenation and deep meditation. This is one of those beautiful paradises on earth. This is where I was staying also in Interlaken, Victoria Jungfrau Hotel in the mid-70s, where I had a very profound experience. And the story goes that my friends have wanted me to repeat, basically in synopsis, that during the meditations there, I had an unexpected experience of being transported into the future. That future time has not yet come in the timelines that we're all experiencing so far. However, millions of people around the world have had similar visions and tapping into that plane of the golden age materialized on this earth as I did. I got to experience it for about 2 hours at this location you see here. It was a profound experience that changed my life, and I've never been the same since. Everything I've seen since then has been a fulfillment of the coming of this golden age. The vision was of a completed, materialized, finished precipitation and crystallization of the higher densities into 3D, so that the dimensions merge, third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, and of course the unified field beyond them all, merged into 3D, where not every human being has established infinite, pure cosmic consciousness 24 hours a day. However, every human being will have glimpsed it. That glimpse alone is enough to change anyone for life. That glimpse instantly has made everyone on the planet open to all the solutions that are already here. Robert Sakahara, our special guest today, will be talking about how the solutions are already here. Anti-gravity, replicators, the ability to create unlimited free energy, all of the abundance that has always been possible, those devices, those technologies have already been here and do not need to be invented. They only need to be uncovered and released from the control, either on the one hand of enemies of the planet who have been hoarding them for selfish interests, or on the other extreme, the hands of the ascended masters who have kept the toys, the powerful toys, away from their immature children until such time we as a species mature enough to handle those toys responsibly. The heaven on earth that I saw is impossible to depict. These are some beautiful paintings. This one by Benny Sorensen. There are thousands of others that beautiful artists have made of various heavens and their manifestation in third density. I saw unbelievable beauty on this planet. Of course, no pollution, no crime, no sickness, no poverty, no problems, no one really needing to work for survival. On the other hand, at least 90 to 95% of the population volunteering to work at something playful, at something happy, at something productive, creative, enjoyable, because that's the nature of high energy. When you are blessed with deep rest and high energy, you can't help but overflow with creativity, and you're going to be active. And even those sitting in silence are also creative, are also productive, because they're radiating enlightened vibrations. So these visions were given to many millions of us around the world, and these visions are coming closer and closer and closer to going public. Some of them already have in small ways in certain families, certain groups, many individuals, and many lifestyles and environments already present in today's world. 1984, 1983, the end of 83, beginning of 84, this picture shows the taste of utopia, where Maharishi had 7,000 advanced Kriya city meditators together in Fairfield, Iowa. That's the Golden Dome where people meditate together. And this photo was taken in January 84 as a commemoration of a gathering that was measured scientifically to have improved the world. All kinds of peace treaties were signed at that time. All kinds of improvements were made in the weather, in the economy, in politics. All kinds of measurable changes and improvements in the global experience were measured at that time because of the influence of this group that was able to physically get together. It's kind of like putting coals together in a fire. When you put them all together, they create a big blazing flame. But if you separate them to different locations, they kind of die out. So the togetherness in one physical location is important, even though everyone is tapping the field that is beyond time and space. I'm present here in September of 2018 at Maharishi University of Management. That's the Golden Dome behind there, and you can see the solar panels that power it. My consort and soulmate, beloved Mary Ananda, you can see pictured here in front of the Maharishi Vedic City, a sign, and also a picture of the university on the right. Another place you may want to visit when you can and you have the money to do so, go to Germany. Go to this place, is a Maharishi Ayurvedic spa on the River Ems. It's called Bad Ems, and it's housed in the former palace of Kaiser Wilhelm II. Bad Ems, Germany. That is now a place of healing using the absolute most advanced Golden Age methods of ancient Golden Ages derived from the revived secrets of Ayurveda, not the distorted or diluted Ayurveda present throughout India today, but the revived ancient profound secrets that were lost during the Dark Ages are present now in the new Maharishi Ayurveda, and that is present in many places around the world. This is one of the more beautiful ones that's recommended. Her Holiness Srimata Amritananda Mai, many of you may be familiar with. Amachir, she is known, or the Hugging Saint, goes on tour every year to America, to Europe, to South America, everywhere. And she showers her love on everyone. She's an incarnation of enlightenment, an avatar of God realization. She has humanitarian projects, and I go, it must be 200 countries. She has homeless. She helps the homeless. She builds homes for those who don't have homes. She's helped people with disaster victims. Miracles happen around her. And so go see her, amma.org, AMMA.org. Stands for Amma is Holy Mother. And so she goes on tour. You can meet her. You can get her hug. She'll touch you. You can ask a question, get a name, get a mantra. I just go and bask. You know, I'm not like a follower. I just sit and bask in the presence of great saints from the east, from the west, from the north, from the south. Her religion is love. There's no one religion. There's no one spiritual path. She honors all paths, all religions. And so her religion is love. My religion is love. And that's what she bestows. And she demonstrates for those who are interested in immortality and the light body, she demonstrates it every day because she is in a body that hardly ever needs any food or any rest. She can sit 22 hours a day or more, giving blessings constantly, never run out of love, never run out of bliss, never gets upset, never gets tired. She runs 24/7. I mean, just never stops. If she lies down to rest, she's still conscious. And so this is going on, and anyone can go and see it. It's a phenomenon of the Golden Age already here, manifesting. This is Oneness University in India, which was founded by other avatars, a couple, a husband and wife, Sri Bhagavan and Amma of South India. This is Golden City, India, and these people are mostly Westerners. They're from United States, Canada, Australia, England, Europe, English-speaking, some from China, a few from India, but this was just a few years ago, and awakening was experienced. That means the beginning stages of enlightenment, where consciousness now begins to be present in one's awareness of the infinite. The galactic connection, we are now moving into an alignment. Some say not just the end of a 52,000-year cycle. Some have said, I think it was Kuthumi, the Ascended Master Kuthumi said, we are at the end of a 206 million year cycle. I'd like to introduce to you my very good friend Christine Green Sakahara. I published her bio for you in the newsletter. Hopefully you got to see that. And you can see here that she has a rich experience in life, in background of spiritual. I'll just summarize. And she's a great healer. She's had modalities of dozens and dozens and dozens of spiritual practices and healing practices. And as you can see, 5,600 spiritual books. Um, and she's working with the Galactic High Light Council with Robert. We would like to bring Christine on briefly before Robert starts to give a spiritual blessing to this meeting. So I'll end the screen share briefly, and just a moment. Okay, Robert.
Yes, this is Christine.
Christine, yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
Please proceed.
All right. Oh, Tonson, thank you so much for all of that information, and the experiences you have are absolutely amazing. I am totally in tune with every one of those things. It's beautiful.
Could you come into the view of your camera, please?
I'm sitting in front of it. We're trying to get it to work here, I guess.
There you are.
Oh,
Beautiful.
yeah. So, yes, thank you. I am just so enlightened by what you've said. I've had exactly the same experiences, which tells me that it is absolutely true. 30 years ago, I had, around the time of the harmonic convergence, I had an experience where Jesus Christ came to me and actually got inside my body, said, "Your name is Christine, and it means Girl Christ, and you are here to create the new earth." I was given a lot of this similar visions that you've had at that time. Of course, they weren't well accepted right then, so I had to kind of be quiet about it all, but I set out on a quest to, do my mission that I came here to do. So I, just was led to read all of those books, study all those modalities, learn all about the religions of the world, all of the cultures of the world, and then spend another decade studying the feminine energy, because the feminine energy on the planet right now is the unconditional love that, really has never been here before, as far as the oneness. That's what this whole golden age is about, is the unconditional loving oneness. So I studied all about the feminine energies of healing and all of those things. Then I met Robert about 13 years ago, and were having very similar experiences, like what we were being told from our higher selves, that we have some kind of mission to perform here, that, we really are God beings, that we haven't been able to know that till now. And then, it was like we were just being downloaded constantly by the spirit world after we met, with information, and then galactic information. And the Galactic Federation of Light contacted us, of course, and said, we are working with you. We learned all about the crystalline light body, that we are turning into crystalline beings. The first experience I had, they told me, you are going to stay alive. You do not need to die. You are immortal. And, at that time that was hard to believe, but, that's absolutely come true. And I held to that. They also said, you are going to be wealthy. And of course, Saint Germain says, say, I am opulent wealth. We are designed to be healthy and immortal, and wealthy beyond our wildest dreams. We are the original creator gods from the great central sun who came here to usher in, you know, this new paradigm. This particular planet is the cutting edge planet to do this. This is the first time it's ever been done in the history of the cosmos, the ascension in this particular way, where we have to be in the physical body to ascend, and then the planet is ascending also in the same way. Thus, your visions of the crystalline cities, what they've told me is that and I get downloads all the time as they, you know, upgrades and downloads as, you know, our higher selves are coming into our physical body. But they said that we are to merge heaven and earth. We are to bring spirit to matter. That's what's happening. Spirit is merging into matter. And then everything is elevated to a brand new level, including all the financial system. You know, and then we learned, of course, that the Anunnaki had a role in downgrading our DNA to 2 strands instead of the 12 strands that we are supposed to have as God beings. When I saw the people levitating, you know, the cities are really what we're being able to do now, is have our God power. In 5D, Greg Prescott, if any of you are familiar with him, just came up with a mantra that said, all of my DNA and RNA beneficial codones are now open. I can do anything. I use my powers for the benefit of all humanity. And that's where we are. We are at that point right now where everything is shifting back into oneness, and we're all elevating, just as you said. You know, and this is happening, and I got another download. I got another transmission from, you know, and it's the Ascended Masters that are a part of this Galactic Federation of Light High Council. And it said, we're not trying to sell you a car. This is happening whether you believe it or not, you know. And I thought, okay, we don't have to try to convince anybody. This is just true. This is just happening. About 4 years ago, I had my first spaceship experience. We had started seeing ships in the sky, and they were telling us, yes, these are our ships. And one night I was, you know, bilocated to one of their ships where the High Council sat, and they sat around a big shiny table, and the colors there were just, you know, otherworldly, you know, colors that we've never seen. And they, you know, they have a sense of humor, and they were happy to greet me, and, you know, happy that I was there. And, you know, they said, you are, Robert has done everything correctly with the money, because at that time, you know, we were being told to buy all this currency. And we thought, oh, are we really supposed to do this? And yes, you are. Keep getting this currency. So they said, Robert has done everything correctly with the money, and you are to be ambassadors to for Mother, Father, God, to go around the whole world and heal all the, you know, all of the countries in the world. And we had gotten you know, revelations about that already, and that was just so confirming. Then they showed me, you know, like on a big movie screen, a huge flower of life that was 3-dimensional. It came out in gold, and it, you know, and it just sent this huge healing, you know, energy through me. It was just, you know, instantaneous healing, spontaneous healing. And they said, this is where you came from. You came from the great central sun. You know, this is the solar energy that you're to bring to the planet Earth. Well, that was wonderful. That was such a wonderful experience, and totally life-changing. Well, and then now in October 11th of 2018, I had another experience of going on the New Jerusalem spaceship, which, you know, has the Ashtar Command, who and they're pretty much in charge of the transformation and the ascension of the planet. I got to meet Ashtar. I got to meet, you know, this is bilocating. I got to meet the Ashtar Command. They showed me, and Robert was there with me. He doesn't remember that, but he was there, and they showed us the all of the new technologies, all of the plans that they have already created in that dimension The spaceship is, the New Jerusalem spaceship is organic. It, you know, they tell me that they have already landed here in another dimension, and it's starting, all of their energy and all of their creations are starting to filter through to us. They said they protect us constantly. They rolled out a red carpet and they said, you are the boots on the ground. We need you to be in your physical body to do this. We, you know, we're in this other dimension. We need you as physical bodies, boots on the ground, to actually ascend into your God selves, be your higher selves, and carry this out to create this new earth. And that the GCR is a huge part of that. We need those funds to be able to transform this planet. So that was wonderful, just a wonderful experience too. And they're so happy and they're celebrating and they love us so much. They just adore us for what we're doing here. So of course, then continuous downloads since then that have said, you know, that you, one of the best ways to create, because you are the creators, is to say it's already done now. So we, you know, constantly live and feel and be as if it is already happened. It is already now. That's the best way we can create it. You know, and then of course, the message of the love. The message of the love is the most important thing. That's how we ascend, is to go into that highest consciousness of love that we can possibly imagine and stay in that love vibration. That's the highest vibration there is. So we are one with everyone. We live the cosmic law of one that David Wilcock teaches, which is the law of the cosmos. There's also the Galactic Codex that we've been downloaded with, which is a document that talks about, you know, how the cosmos operates and, you know, the law of one, and that you know, we are rising up to be in this oneness where we treat everyone as equals. We love everyone as ourselves. And, you know, all of the religions have the seed of actually that unconditional love and that golden rule. And, you know, that is the main message they want us to deliver by first setting an example of that. So I am just thrilled and excited that we are at this point in, you know, our evolution, where we're going to see this planet transform. And Tonson, you are such an example already. So grateful for you, to know you. But you're going to love what Robert has to say. You know, he's been groomed for this. So I'm going to turn it over to him.
Thank you. Awesome. Beautiful. Fantastic. Okay. I'm just going to give a very brief overview for the bio, you know, the the introduction of Robert, and then we'll bring Robert right on. Hold on. Okay. We have many contacts around the world. As many of you, I've connected with various groups, currency exchange groups. Robert has connection with many of the heads of the exchange groups. These are some of the highest banking officials in the world. And in addition, Robert seems to have gone beyond that and connected with the United Nations, heads of state of many countries around the world, and oversees, $600 billion worth of humanitarian projects and 770 accounts. Is familiar with lending, with banking, those who need investment loans for real estate, things like that. Robert is currently in service and able to provide that. Gold, international bank debentures, medium-term notes, bank guarantees, standby letters of credit, direct letters of credit, international currency trading, network marketing, management. He was trained by some of the best and largest corporations in the world and gurus in the world. Many are now his friends. Friends are now or are in work with the International Monetary Fund, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, the Alliance of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, which is BRICS, and the New Development Bank. He has direct relationships with over 10 African presidents. In the banking world, he is direct to the top banking people in the world doing the GCR and GESARA, which is the Global Economic Reformation and Security and Reformation Act. And he has a global network of over 1,600 people in every continent. So this is my friend Robert. We're going to turn it over to you.
Well, thank you very much, Tonson. What an honor to be able to speak with you guys today and just share some basic information of why all of this has come about and why we all seem to be at the same place and same time at this moment. There's a universal cosmic energy of law of oneness coming back in order from this disarray of a group of beings that thought they were in control of this entire planet and worked in a negative fashion to hold us hostage and become a slave race, literally. And when you understand that from a galactic level, that we're not the only ones in the cosmos. There's a whole bunch of us here and have been here for a long time. And with all of us coming in as a incarnated person like Tonson, you rolling in here in a human form, and then starting all the things that you have created already to bring to fruition on the new earth. This is what it's designed to be, is heaven on earth. This is a very beautiful planet. The so-called powers that be had left this planet in such disarray that it is now to stop. And it's being used by a segue of what we call the global currency reset. And it just has begun to unfold, literally. We're at a turning point right now to where our ascension in the process has allowed us to share in a wealth structure that is equal across the board in all countries, all across the world. And what's happening immediately is that our ascension process using our DNA, which is now re-engaging to a 12-stranded DNA, to a galactic male-female super being, basically. We're going back to who we were. There's no junk DNA, absolutely none. All your DNA is being re-engaged in the new solar gamma rays that have been showering upon us in the ascension process. We are layers of light and we're in multiple dimensions. And how does that all transcend into the global currency reset? Well, instead of us just being in 3 dimensions, we can have infinite dimensions by using currency to free us from the debt slavery system that they created. This debt slavery system was created to keep us indebted into a situation where we won't be able to work together and only separate us and divide us. Everything from competition to religion to you name it. And if I can disturb everything about you, your auric field, your biological field, yeah, we're electrical, biological, super galactic beings that are already have the capability to do things that we have just witnessed on a picture that guys are all floating in midair. So those are some of the things that we already can do, will do, and do more in addition by using this global currency reset. So what does that mean? We got all this money that we were enslaved to. Everyone's got credit cards, everyone's got debt and mortgages. And it seems that when you go from one country to another country, the money system seems to be completely unfair. Well, that's all about to change because now all countries around the world can all be one equal dollar to dollar, whatever their currency is called. So an example would be a Zimbabwe dollar, a Euro dollar, United States dollar, and all these different currencies would now equivocate to an equal level exchange. And it would be instantaneous. So you would do an exchange, whether it be on a digital basis through the computer or a cash basis. It's actually a digit to digit or a dollar to dollar on a actual exchange. And that's all being done now in the global currency reset. Well, everybody's kind of heard about it, or they go, hey, this, I've been involved with it for 15 years, 10 years, 5 years. It's been a while in the making. It's actually been over 40 years. And the farmers' claims is one of the original starts of this in the 90s, where they claimed against the United States government for lands that were taken to them, from them, and when the government started to take over our food. And all these things tie into money, and it's all about moving food production off the United States soil. It's doing things where you're having to bring food in from other countries, and it doesn't make sense. But what happens is, from a bigger economic scale, you can control things through the manipulations of products, goods, and services, and using money at the forefront, which is called the fiat dollar. Well, what does all that have to do on a global scale? Well, the fiat dollar was called the petrodollar. The petrodollar was a dollar that was designed to have a first right of refusal, basically, for every currency base in the entire world for all countries. Well, that kind of puts you in the driver's seat if you're the central bank, which isn't a true bank. A central bank is actually controlled and governed by a bunch of private people. With all these things going on and all the nasty collusion, they always say, follow the trail of the money. Follow the money. Well, if you go back to the Rothschilds who created the banking system, then all they did was take away the gold standard or any asset-backed currency and made a fiat currency, which is just fractional banking. I'm going to make more digits and borrow from the central bank or the federal bank, and they're all privately owned banks. And if you own all the banks and you borrow from yourself and make you pay the interest on it and then pay all the taxes on it, pretty much you're just broke every day. You'll never get ahead because the job's only going to lead you one place, and that's broke always. So what we're doing is creating a new equal playing field in the global currency reset that allows all of us to ascend at the same time, allows all of us to go together. It eliminates all of the old system, which was taken over by some really bad people in the entire world that control everything around the world and in the world and on the world. And they've done it through everything, the food, the air, the water, you name it. It's been on a biological level so that they actually spray chemicals in the air. They put chemicals in the food and the air and the water, herbicides, pesticides, they got vaccines, you name it. They got a way to put some more poison and toxins into you. When you ingest all of these, you become an actual walking antenna. As a walking antenna, you now can be bombarded by what they call Wi-Fi. And those Wi-Fi technologies are like a direct energy weapon at you. And if you understand how to deflect some of these energies, you can use orgonite, you can use pendants, you can use crystals, you can use things that detoxify your blood from all those heavy metals. And it's being done to you unknowingly and unwittingly through all the vaccinations, through the food, the pans, the little layers of 3M Scotchgard on your carpet is toxic. Your laundry detergent, your laundry soap. I mean, it just goes on and on and on, and it makes you aware of why you're so sensitive to certain things in your life, certain smells and certain feels, and why is everything made out of bleach, and why does fluoride seem to be everywhere and everything. And when you do your research, you find out it was designed that way to keep you dumbed down and not knowing the truth. And those that know the truth, like Tonson, has gone to other parts of the world where they teach you the truth. They teach you sacred knowledge. They teach you hidden knowledge. They have allowed you to know certain things that are very common, and they'll teach you. But they won't share it to the masses. So now with this global currency reset, why is this finally coming to, at this point in time in history, an actual release? All the world is now pretty much in place on a compliance called the Global Economic Security and Reformation Act, GSARA. And our nation has NESARA, National Economic Security and Reformation Act. With these two working in hand in tandem, all the world is now on a asset-backed system, some sort of a system. Every bank is in that compliance, whether it be Basel III, Basel IV, which just basically means it's a limitation of knowing how much you have going out in liabilities and how much you have in on assets. It better be on a balance on a percentage. So they want asset-backed currencies out there, whether it be in digits or in loans or anything out there in the bank. When you have all those in a level playing field and everybody is not just fractionalizing in banking, where they make a loan off a loan off a loan, and everybody's making a little bit of Peter to pay Paul, all of that can stop. And when you do that, it's called a quantum financial system. And they're like, wow, we got a whole new banking system? Yes, we do. It's actually instantaneous, and it's so fast that you cannot break into it. It's the newest quantum blockchain technology that allows, instead of a binary system, a qubit system. The qubit's pretty much unlimited knowledge where it can actually feel your vibration. That is beyond amazing in technology. That's another whole understanding of technology. So as if that's not enough, we've been helped from all the technologies to heal ourselves, to give us free energy, free power, clean water, clean air, all of the things that it should already be, and they've withheld all these technologies from us. They've been using, and we go, well, who's they? Well, I don't know. The United States government, that's what they call them, and we know them as the deep state. And the deep state is a group of individuals worldwide that have taken over the entire banking and the world banking and money system, and your so-called the IRS tax system and the Federal Reserve System and the central banking system and all of these other facets that you thought were the government, called the CDC, the Center for Disease Control, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the Central Intelligence Agency, you know, all the three-letter agencies that we felt was working with us, for us, as the, I don't know, the people, and none of them are working for us. NASA is another one, which is never can tell a straight answer as far as I'm concerned. What happens is you have a bunch of people colluding and giving you layers of information, and all we see is what they televise us to see on television. And with the internet, it's allowed us to find information faster, quicker, and being able to communicate through this type of a medium and be able to share information that is true, and it's not piped into you and it's not programmed into you. Literally, that's why they call it a program. Well, how does this all play in with the Galactics too? Well, the Galactics have been here a lot longer than we have. And they decided to help us as an entire human race or a population on a planet to ascend, and it's really never been done. So this planet's going through an ascension process that all the beings on here came here to do one thing, and we're all meeting as new leaders on the planet to make this a really great place and a better place. And those that don't want to make it a great place and a better place will not be here. You will expire, you will be taken off, taken out. It's already happening worldwide. You're seeing it in the mainstream media, which is pretty much whatever they want to pipe in there. But I can assure you there are tribunals, there are arrests, and things are happening on a global scale, a local scale, and a national scale to take every individual down and out that is not going to be part of the New Republic. And what is the New Republic? Well, the New Republic is the old Republic, which is the sovereign United States of America. And it's not incorporated. And incorporation meaning we are not a corporation of a bunch of idiots that don't know what we want and what we want to do for us, our children, our grandchildren and great-grandchildren. We want a better world where everybody doesn't have to be a slave. You can get up and do whatever you want to do every day. And guess what? It's free. Yeah. Nothing costs nothing. So we have already technology upon technology upon technology. We don't have to manufacture. It's nothing new. None of it is new. We have so much technology out there that we can just start releasing it. It eliminates all sickness and disease. It allows your body to replace body parts. You can do clones of you if you want. You can go to other stargates, other star systems. You can go across the planet in a few minutes through a stargate, through a star portal. There's different ways to do it, whether it be in a little tube thing, a little, I don't know, looks like a scooter thing, anti-gravity technology. We don't have to have cars. We don't have to have pollution. All this can already be done. We already have ships in the sky. You look up any time of the day or night, they are there. Whether uncloaked, looking like a cloud, looking like a star, tell them to move. They'll move. They'll give you signs. They'll telepathically communicate with you. We have already been, and a lot of people are already in communication with the galactics and working with the galactics. And there's a whole group of them. There's thousands of them all waiting around on Earth, in Earth, around Earth, on other planets, other star systems. And they're all here like a big movie watching us, cheering us on because it's never been done. And we're taking out all the bad people. And we had to get a guy that have the balls to step up. And that guy's name is Trump. Like him or hate him, he's not bought. He doesn't need money. He gives his whole entire salary away. Well, he's doing things that nobody else has ever done and never seen done because he's not playing the same game as the deep state, and he will not play their game. And we're taking every one of those down and out, every one of those people. And if you don't want to comply, then we're going to put somebody else that will comply. And so that's what's going on. That everybody right now is the last three, let's call them players, individuals of the deep state as the figureheads of those deep states, called like Iran and Venezuela. Those individuals will comply or be taken out. And then someone else will be in their place that's going to comply with the GESAR laws and rules of the entire world. In the collaboration, which is taking a long time, there's a lot of us that own currency. We're all waiting. Every day we hear, it's tomorrow, it's tomorrow. Well, guess what? It's already been going on. We already have validation and confirmation of a person in Fort Knox or Fort Bragg in North Carolina that's done some exchanging, and it was only because of the military. It was just some military exchange on some dinar. Well, it's still some movement of money. And I don't know what they got. I'm sure it had to be $384 on an exchange. Well, that tells you right there, we're already pretty much trading internationally and things are already being done. They just haven't announced it on an actual overall media. The relationships that I have are people like Jerry, who's in 3 different types of groups, and these called groups. And these are individuals where they gave their currency up as long as 12 years ago, some of them 15 years ago. In Reno, Nevada, they would meet, or they had church groups, or they had some sort of a group that they were all with, and they all got together, the Native Americans, all these different groups. The CMKX was this diamond group, it has Al Hodges. All these different groups came together and are to be paid out from the United States government. And they're to be paid out as part of the release of all this currency on the global scale. And all of this is being done and has been done. And in addition to that, Trump, he just got back from Vietnam and going to see Kim Jong-un. And that was about the nuclear thing, but it was also to congratulate Vietnam about having a GESAR, global GSR compliance, and their new money is being asset backed. All of these things are tall tales because like Iran or Iraq's already done. Zimbabwe's about to announce that they're going to have a gold-backed dollar. With all these things working together as one, there's another situation where Brexit and London's leaving the European Union. All these are clear signs that everybody's signing up on the global currency reset. So all countries can now be on the same standard as an asset-backed currency on a global scale, 1-to-1. And that's what's going on as far as individuals. I have other people that have actually told me that they have an information from an email which stated that they wanted an Excel spreadsheet of all currencies owned, what it was in, what denomination, their name, their phone number, all of that complete, with a list of how much they weighed, and then their baggage weight, I think, couldn't be more than 40 pounds. Well, something's going on because nobody's ever been contacted before like that. So now we have some movement there. We have another group that is part of the IMOS group. There's several members that are part of that group. You guys probably know some members of that group. and individuals that have gotten their phone calls and said, hey, be ready. Well, they've been saying that every week for the last X number of weeks. All these gurus are saying it's going to happen any second, any second. Nobody knows. The truth is nobody knows. They're not going to say, hey, guess what? Guess what? We're going to get one tomorrow and be ready at 8 o'clock. So it will just show up. Whenever it's going to show up, it'll be in perfect timing. We're closer than ever to getting this completely done. We're so close to receiving some sort. Yeah, so technology will be a real key factor about bringing us into the fifth dimension and beyond. What happens is we have so much technology that's available to us right now that we can bring together. And that technology is, it's been around forever. It's not like we have to like produce it or anything like that. So replication technology, laser technology, medical bed technology, healing technologies, all these modalities to allow us to have things and do things. They're doing some things right now that are in China, and they can make a big, huge 52-story building in a matter of a couple of weeks. Well, that's the type of technology that already exists. I'm sure you guys have seen different technologies, so the 3D technology. You can 3D technology a small 800-900 square foot house in a few days. Well, all of these technologies are nothing new. These are stuff that have just been completely withheld. We've got black box technology, free energy. You don't have to use anything. We got light wave technology. What is light wave technology? You don't have to have Wi-Fi. You can actually download through crystals, a crystal from one crystal to another crystal. So if you've got this crystal and it's set up properly, then it just downloads right into the crystal, and then you pull it right out. You have crystal screens right now. We got hologram technology. We have all the different technologies able to help us ascend and to heal each other. We've got biofuels. We have different foods that we can grow and use through all this technology. So all of this can be cleaned up really fast and really quick, and a lot faster than people can ever imagine. And that's what it's going to take, is why this money, back to the global currency reset, why is all this global currency reset so important? Because now, with all this influx of money, everybody on the planet has an opportunity to be free. And those that have the currency should be prepared to take a actual appointment time and slot. And by taking your appointment, you can exchange and negotiate how much you're going to do. Now, a lot of people, they just want to exchange their currency, get in, get out. Some of those people are complete humanitarians. They know exactly what they want. They have a business plan. They have an executed plan, will work with their wealth managers. Then they're going to get a higher international rate. It's a contract rate. So that's something you have to negotiate. The only people that are going to know anything is you. That's it. Because you're going to sign an NDA, or you're going to politely just shut up, take your money and leave, and then take care of some business. And if you're a humanitarian, that business should be conducted in a way that you have some preparation. And it's really important that you know what to do with money, and you use common sense, number one, and take a breath. Because all of a sudden, this great amount of money will show up in your hands. You don't know exactly what to do with it. Well, then don't do anything with it. Get your wealth manager to do it for you, with you, and orchestrate a plan that has CPAs, attorneys, family offices, as complete concierge if you would like. You name it, you can do it, and you can get it done. If you ask for someone to shop for you, it can be done in that manner and regard. It will all be done for you. So there's nothing to be done for you. In regards to knowing what to do or ask for, would be to set yourself up into multiple corporations, trust, as Tonson has, the Natural Law Trust. It's imperative that you know how to set up your structures. And why is that? Privacy and protection, asset protection. You can't keep it if you don't protect it. And you can't be protected unless you have privacy. And privacy means that you own nothing and have everything. And if you own nothing and have everything, have access to it and control of it, that means you're a beneficiary. And that's one of the things that is being taught thanks to Tonson and his group, because of that natural law trust and understanding exactly what you must do and how to do it, so you're completely protected. With the new currency, the currency is about a new dollar that's coming out. It's called the U.S. Treasury Note, or USTN. The USTN's already been printed. It's already ready to go. All world currencies are ready to go. We're in a day and age and a place and time where we're honored to be here to volunteer, because those that want to step up can create a new world and have a lot of fun. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of work, and everybody will be doing things from redoing an entire infrastructure to new technologies to just fixing up some stuff, basic stuff, or giving away people's whole infrastructure of their parks or something. There's so much to do. Elder centers, senior care, equestrian care. There's all this cleanup that can be done. There's all these projects waiting for money to be done. If you don't know what to do, we have a group of people that we're putting together that can help you facilitate this for you. Because a lot of times it's like, how do I start even with a house? How do I start with a shopping center? How do I start with a development center? How do we build a city? How do we rebuild a city? Well, all these things are already being done. And if you go to the largest and the best that are real honorable companies, whether they be construction, real estate, technology, senior care, senior living, hospitals, all these different facilities that are doing it, then you would instruct your wealth manager or your trust or your foundation, and they would send a representative to help that organization out. So those are different ways that you can take to diversify and divest your money using, it can use a private hedge fund. You can use a private fund management team, your own private fund, or a group of syndication where a lot of you get together and put together a fund. And the hedge funds are actually working faster privately than banks will, because you have different layers. And I was talking about earlier about Basel III and Basel IV compliance. When you have all these banking regulations, you're all tied into the quantum financial system, and you cannot mess with that system. It goes back over 40 transactions backward and forward. So we're all protected, and it goes by your energy signature. You cannot rip it off. The banks nowadays, all your credit unions, your national banks, your state banks, your international banks, all these banks, whether it be a merchant bank or a commercial bank or an industrial bank, all these different segues will all be connected to the quantum financial system. It used to take you, it could be where you could take a check and you could float it for days. Now you can't do that. Everything is instantaneous. The minute it hits, it's already done, and it can go 40 transactions through blockchain backwards and forward. So that's kind of what's going on in a nutshell, is the elaborate placement of all these different currencies that are now being allowed to be in one equal playing field worldwide. And some of the things that will come out to the public for people that are just not even a currency holder, there's a public fund ready to be released for all those that are 18 and older to have a certain amount of money come out, forgive all your debt, forgive all your mortgage debt, figure out anything that, all loans, student loans, and to have a supplemental income on a monthly basis. And so all these things are starting to come out and come to pass, and it's just not exactly as we would like that. And how long has it been? How long will it be? Well, we're still hearing days. Well, why is it any different? I'll tell you why it's different. Because the whole entire world is fully in compliance with the global currency reset. Every one of us are ready. Some of us have been waiting up to 15 years. We've gotten validation from people in all these different groups. We listen to all the different individuals that are direct to people that are orchestrating this, all the way to the top brass, inside government, white hats, people that are relaying information through text and Twitter and just through phone calls or applications like this. We're all sharing information that allows us to clearly understand that they set up a plan to, I don't know, control and manipulate the population. And if you don't believe me, get on any, facet of the internet right now, and you can see all kinds of disturbances and riots around the world, but you're not seeing it on mainstream CNN. Why is that? Because they don't want you to know the world is completely in chaos. and everyone's done. And that's why the currency had to come in right now. So from everything that I've researched and from all the different people that have been talking to us, that have been orchestrating this thing for the last 40 years, have been relaying to us that we are right on the cusp of receiving some sort of notification. And when that happens, get ready to actually move faster than you've ever had before, because we do have the technology, we do have the ability to be able to heal the planet. And it takes every one of us on this phone call or on this Zoom call conference to get together as a team of people that will share the information. We have all kinds of different technologies already in place, all ready to go. Free technology is here. You're seeing it come out on all the different facets of social media. I'm seeing more weird things coming out that look like a quadcopter, something that looks like a jet ski, something that looks like a underwater type thing. And none of it's new. It's just they've been withholding the technology. And to know that they have a secret space program that they've been running for a long time, when you clearly understand that what we've been told, what we've been taught, and what we've been shared with since the day we were born was not true. And I'm sharing with you, there are other things out there that allow us to always be in the true factor. The government is being rearranged completely, as well as all world governments, to be really on a basis where they're working with the people, for the people, and that's us. So we're going to take the world back by storm, create a new earth, do it with love, and the presence of all of us here to make it a better world. So thank you.
Yeah, did you want to do a screen sharing, Robert?
Yeah. So we are all one group, one love, one business, one energy, one life. And there's so many of us ready to go to do this together. And there's a lot of galactics here, and they're all different. I mean, if you could really see what they look like and what they're doing, we're in a huge age of ushering in a golden age of human enlightenment. And that's why we came here, to become relit through our heart and to get our energy back. And we've got all these components of genetically modified organisms and foods, and it's not the way it's supposed to be. We can go back to a natural way of living and loving. We have not only the technology, we have the minerals right here from Mother Earth. We don't have to make up these nasty toxic foods and fuels that do nothing but destroy your DNA. And that's why they've been doing it. We're in this physical, mental, emotional realm, and we're all spiritual energy, and all this is spiritually, dimensionally, we're energy and we're limitless. There's no end to it. So we're sending blessings of love and light, because that's who we are, is the souls of love and light. And we live in this beautiful, I don't know, this ever-present bubble of pink, white light, blue light, gamma light, starlight, energy light, and all they do is block it up. And we use sacred geometry or levels of light or layers of light, and then we bring that energy in. Now what's going on is the cosmos is being bombarded with the solar flares, and all these different flares that are coming in, have been incoming. The magnetics, the energy coming in through the planet is very intense. So these solar waves, the solar event, the flash, has been coming in, and if you've been feeling any of this, you're transitioning your DNA into a fifth dimensional person. And use your invocations to bring in that light to surround you, so it'll protect you and release you. This is just a quick chart of all the organics, and you can see that all the different companies are all intertwined together. And it's sickening to know that there's just a few people that actually control all that. So we've been living in a binary coded system, and we want to bring us all back into alignment as one unity, one cosmic entity, one love, one being. We are all one love, one being, and that's how we all move through the entire cosmic energy. Everything is moving through our bodies as well. Our bodies are layers or dimensions, and every part of your body, through your heart, your intestines, your body, of your pancreas, your stomach, your lungs, all your kidneys, everything is all related to your body and how it all works together and how it all is a layer of light constantly. And we've got our ancestors asking us to be one and getting back into it. So these pyramids are really, really old. It's not like they just were built a few years ago, like they tell us, 10,000 of years. It's 30 and 40,000 years. And we have the greatest possibility of a brain because it's limitless. If you really understand the 12 cranial nerves and how it all works, our energy vibrations are really harmonizing. And when we are disturbed, we use our cell phones, we're not as connected. And your energy can be disturbed. And you go, well, what big difference does that make? It's a huge difference. And if you look at things on a big, huge scale, on the way we're moving into the photon rays and the gamma rays, which are our universe is actually going through the photon belt. And that's that 26,000 years, this 2,000 years of layers of light, the golden age that Tonson has predicted. It's here, and we're going through this rebirth. It's like our cerebral, the spinal fluid is ourselves of the Christ of being climbing up our 33 vertebrae, the Jacob's ladder, and it meets our 12 cranial nerves, and it is the 12 disciples. It ignites the pineal gland, which is our resurrection, and that's our third eye. We do have a center of the earth. I think I talked about different beings. We have a whole different structure of the inner earth, our whole central sun in the center of the earth. There's all this energy of people not understanding that the ancient ancestors are here on the planet, in the planet, and of the planet. And we have all the symbology that works into everything that we do, from fire, earth, air, spirit, and water. Each one of these are all signifying sacred geometry. And we have all these different elements that are rare earth elements that it's all over the place. And when you understand that we are made of earth and made of elements, and then if you don't have the minerals in you, you will destroy yourself from the inside out, literally. This is just talking about Yahweh. The actual diagram looks like a human being, Yahweh. The triple X theory of 666, the 600, the Christed energy, the chi, the lowercase, the uppercase. It's the Greek alphabet. They use all the symbology in everything that they do and everything that we see, and we don't even realize the symbology behind it all. As a body of light or a body of energy, our polar energy, we have a negative side and positive side. Energy flows. This is talking about the ascension and layers and chakras. The energy is going to flow through you, up your head, through your chakras, down your feet, through your arms, through your fingers, back into your body. Well, that's basically everything that you've been taught through your chakra systems and knowing and understanding all that. So if you were able to look at yourself, you are 0-point energy. You are a source. You are the currency. And they've always known that. You heard about it. You've heard of the chakra systems. Well, there's actually 13. And you're always making waves. And these waves are always coming out of you. Theta waves, delta waves, alpha waves, beta waves, gamma waves. All these waves are always at these different hertz. Well, if I can destroy you biologically and through waves in your neurological systems, your health systems, and knowing that there's a spiritual system to all this too, as well as above your third eye, there's another whole set of series of chakras, and below, they call it the netherworld, there's all your chakras below. All these different energies or layers of light or energies or dimensions. That's right. They don't teach you all this stuff, but the ancients knew this, the ancient Indians, the ancient Chinese, all the different races that teach all this, the ancient Tibetans. And this is a picture of the hollow earth, about different entrances all around the earth and how you can get in, get out. Talking about the 12 cranial nerves. Epigenetics is something that I intuitively learned about. And the epigenetics is working all your 12 cranial nerves with your whole entire body and then using all your chakras to clear them. And I was taught by a gentleman that actually teaches epigenetics and is still doing it currently at the University of Utah and studied over at Oxford University as well. Anyway, astrology and anatomy go hand in hand. It's like they are the stars, we are the stars. It correlates to different parts of your body. That's why we have the 12 segments, the 12 signs. They've always given us signals and clues, and if you understand symbols and the basic patterns around that have been here forever, the sun, the moon, the elements, the fire, we are an actual universe. Every time we look into ourselves, and our eyes, we are a universe composed of millions and millions and millions of cells. And if you look at yourself as the ego, as the center of everything, you're not, you're just part of the wheel. We're all one, even including everything that exists on the planet. So ego and eco. We are all love, we are all one. We're talking about all the different companies that Monsanto gets into and how nasty all those, everything you think was good has got something in it that is made all the wrong way. Unique thing is in Europe, they have different ingredients than they do in the United States because they don't make it with fake corn syrup or all these other, it's all natural. When you look at a list of Quaker Oats over in the UK, it'll have 4 ingredients. When you look at it in the United States, it has all these preservatives and starches and corn syrup. So just be aware of that. Let's see, magnets in the flow of your blood, understanding the 13 chakra system. There were actually a 13 chakra system. That's right. We're talking about our flow of our chakras should flow properly and divinely and be all lit up. And of course, if you're always being inundated with all the different negative food, air, and water, then it's kind of hard to do that. And there's another way that aliens can run into you, and it's through manifesting through your actual third eye. And it comes in and they can manifest through negative thought forms and parasitic, the interdimensional life of all that. And they go do that through mediums and through technology, through, because they got your IP address. And what do you got to do to protect yourself is to send it love and light. Because we're in the enlightenment age, and this is what we came here to do, is to do it together. I wanted to share with you what a toroidal energy was and what it looks like. If you could take a 3-dimensional look at this toroidal energy, it flows in and out with a core center of 0 point. It's called 0 point energy. And Apple has it. Everything, the universe, everything that's ever made has a fractal type energy, and it spins with energy. That's what you look like. So we have the galactics here. This is a host of some Pleiadians and what they may look like and what the type of uniforms they wear. Back to the layers of light of Sri Yantras, which is sacred symbols, sacred geometry, and each one of these symbols come off of 369, which are some of the most sacred numbers on the planet. And when you understand that the geometry, this is actually portals and shows you how to get in and out of the portals of life. And that's what we're doing, is ascending up. The egg has been around, the cosmic egg has been around. The earliest ideas is Sanskrit scriptures, and it shows you, there's your chakra system right there, basically. And it shows you how that's all tied in with the entire cosmic energy of the egg of life. We're coming in here for severing all the negative energy and the suffering, the illness and poverty, releasing all those bonds from all those past actions. That's right, it was in your DNA, sins of the father. We know that we are releasing that energy forever and releasing all that karmic energy and to bring it in. This is a picture of the New Jerusalem starship. This is another, if you were to sit in your Merkabah, one triangle up, one triangle down, one spinning left, one spinning right, you'd be in a perfect alignment for 0 point energy. And this is the kind of a field view, I guess you could say, that you would be into. We're moving from a 3 world to a 4D world to a 5D world, and transcending all those that cannot make it, will not make it, will just die, they'll perish. We're here to bring this in and share with people that you're already in the multiple dimensions, always have been. You just weren't aware of it. And that's kind of the construct of the matrix. You are a creator and you can do anything. You are a God, and you are not a son of God. You are not a child of God. You would be God. And when you know that you are a creator, we get together with other creators and we manifest things that can already be done. And that's what we're here to do. manifest the new earth, bring it into 5D. Energetic communication. Why are we telepathic? Well, because we're always beaming each other energy. It's instantaneous. I don't, whether like Thompson is like, bam, he called me and I answered the phone. As if, no, we were already connected. Everybody goes through those synchronicities. We just don't know that we have that already power. More sacred geometry. We're all one. Let's see here. And going into energy, the solar flash from the solar flare from the sun has come into us. We're feeling it through every one of our body points and parts. So the numbers of the body correlate with every joint in the body from 20 days to the 13 numbers from 13 chakra system. That's a look at how these solar waves use the magnetic energy. And you got to imagine if that's what it's doing to the earth, what's it doing to you as a human being and everything on it? We're being pounded with all those energies. So our neck, our shoulders, your elbows, your wrists, your knees, your ankles, all that is, it actually spells out Allah, arm, leg, arm, head, Allah. So your 13 chakra system, a galactic male, galactic female, your crown, your pineal, your pituitary, your well of dreams on the back of your head, your throat, your thymus, your heart, diaphragm, solar plexus, sex, and the root chakra, all your chakras. And then we're all just a matter of vibration that correlate with the vibrational essence of the periodic chart, and we are all electrical, bioelectrical fields of layers of light through our respiratory system, through our skin endocrine system, and all the energy of all the different chakras that all, if you could see it, you would see this massive Kirlian photography, then you would actually see all the different colors and all the different layers and energy that you have the capability for. And everything's been there in front of us, from temples to menorahs to showing us how this all correlates with your body, and how if you keep your energy flow, if you have block flow, then you get sick or diseased. And the 144,000 is about your chakra system. It's about multiplying chakras and churches and crowns and all the 144. You're it. You're the 144. Yeah, there's a saying about the 144 on the planet bringing us all back. But understanding that each planet has a chakra system too. Everything correlates with your fingers, your toes, your back, so your left has a positive and negative. And if you were to look at your hands and what you could do with your feet and what you project, and everybody goes, oh, I could feel them looking at me. Yeah, you're beaming energy. Be careful what you're beaming. You have the capability to heal. It's in your hands. Why do you, when you go to a doctor or you go to a chiropractor or you go to a massage therapist and you go, I feel so good? Well, because you were transferring your energy, they were transferring their energy, and that massage does work. Massage oils, essential oils, healing technologies such as sound. Yeah, vibrational frequency. Vibrational frequency can get to a matter of using even your tones or your words, oming, oohing, awing, hewing. There's all these tonalities. That's why monks just do these tones and sounds. They can actually, that's why you can see Tanzen elevate. You can watch people do things that are seemingly not normal because they're not taught to us. The energy that comes in and out and around you is just magnificent. And then this is just a way that you can see it through what you have on your power. So you have a skeletal system, lymphatic system, the urinary system, respiratory system, digestive system. And you go, well, what does all this have to do with it? Well, if I can block you up, literally plug you up with all kinds of nasty food and things that you really shouldn't eat and decays in your body and genetically modify it, then you're so biologically messed up you can't even think. And each one of these 10 systems line up with planets. So you are the universe. The universe is you. You are the galaxy. The galaxy is you. There's infinite, in quantum mechanics or quantum physics, we're all one. So everything comes in through tones. Everybody's hearing these tones or tendonitis. You don't have tendonitis. We're pushing you tones and vibrational frequencies to re-trigger your DNA, to recode you. We're recoding. Everybody's recoding right now. So you're hearing different tones or frequencies. And a lot of us are bombarded with negative frequencies and you don't even know it. So every time you put the cell phone up to your ear, you're being bombed with electromagnetic cancerous microwaves. and you're getting it through everything, through lines and wires and Wi-Fi and I don't know, microwave ovens and all this technology that we've been emitting and don't even know it. Well, how do you get away from that? Use orgonite, use crystals, use different minerals to detoxify your body. There's frequencies that you can play at different hertz. You can play those musics behind you. You can play it on your cell phone. There's different ways that you can help to protect your levels of your human aura. And that's all we are, layers of light, like I was speaking of earlier. And you have all these different layers, and all those correlate to make you into the sacred geometry that you already are. And if you look how those all go, they all come together to make Metatron's cube. I mean, an icosahedron, which is a star-shaped looking thing, and it's actually healing. I can heal people with it using the technology of holding that in my hand. Was able to use that technology to bolster, I guess, the energy that I have and move it across the actual energy of space and time. And you're like, what? Yeah, you could actually probably feel me moving my hand around through this computer because we're also connected. That's how sensitive things are in real time. There is no space, there is no time, no past, present, and future, because all that's made up too. That's right. There's no time, there's no present, there's no future. We're colliding all the timelines to make one. That's pretty much the bottom line. Chakras is talking about how to use different hertz and frequencies and what it does to different parts of your bodies and your chakra energies. The heart chakra is your main center for the whole Kabbalic tree. The tree of life is what it's called. And that's how it all correlates. From the Indians, they use all those seals in different colors to represent the different chakra lines of how your energy. Everything can be healed with infinite love. Thought, triggered, belief, knowingness. Your toroidal flow can be blocked if you don't heal the wound. You know that if you hang on to something negative, you have a bad day. Well, guess what? You've been hanging on to a lot of BS that you don't want to be hanging on to. You're not holding it on with love, and so you stub your toe, you get in an accident, it just continues. The Christic consciousness, the great central sun, this is the 13 chakra system, intergalactic gateway, stellar gateway, the soul. Those are upper dimensions. The middle dimension that you know in the traditional, the 7 chakras, the crown, the third eye, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, sacral, and the base. Then you got the earth, the dolphin matrix, the inner earth cities, the whole matrix, and the heart of Mother Earth matrix for the chakra systems. This again is just kind of a color chart, and then shows the 13 male galactic, female, the 13 chakra system. So we are already supposed to be that. This lines up with the actual interdimensional star map and the galactic center and how that all works out to the earth, how we flow, how our central nervous system and the cranial nerves, the 7 seals, the law of love. We're an energy vortex we're going through. I was talking about the photon arrays and the gamma rays that are hitting us right now. Is we serpentine around because we're not one linear movement around on our galaxy around the sun. We are actually moving around completely in this bigger cycle of over 26,000 years. As Tonson was talking about, millions of years. We're talking this cycle when it goes through, we finally reach the photon belt. And that was one of the little videos I showed you where we're going through that photon belt. And with all the solar flares that are coming across, those are waves of energy to make you wake up. That's right. We're all waking up to remember who we are. We're actually original beings of love and light that came back here in this density in a human form to rebuild the earth as we know it and to bring all the new technologies back. And this actually shows and talks about how we're moving through those energies. This is just another color chart for the chakra systems, and then the head chakras and the solar flares anyway. And that's on the energy side. A little bit of technology. The medical bed technology we have is pretty much already available. It's a smaller shot. Let me see here. Get. The medical bed technology, they have different types of technology for different applications, different parts of wherever it is. They already have this secret space program. It's a holographic medical pod, looks like, which is the secret space program utilizing medical bays, all these different assets of what they have available. Let's see, we move down, let's go. This is a holographic medical pod, and it shows the different type of surgeries, the base, and how it all lays out. They have all kinds of different cleaning technologies, scanning technologies, and it depends on if it's repairing the entire body for the entire, you're just totally ripped up. They have different type of surgeries and technical tools or beds that they can use to repair the bodies. They already have cloning technology. They have interactive supercomputer software. All these things already exist. I mean, this is just one facet of some technology that they have access to and have had access to. So all these different beings they don't have to eat even, you know, there's just so many different unique energies and technologies, replication technology, laser technology. All these are already available for us. Anti-gravity technology. All these technologies are already there waiting for us to be able to be used and to be brought forth to the rest of us. And I think that's fantastic, because this is what we got sent here to do, is to bring all this technology forward. So the global currency reset, is GESARA real? Yeah, it's real. Is it happening? Yes, it is. And it's sooner than we're going to. We're going back to the gold currency standard worldwide. We are doing the SARA and GESARA that I talked about, recovering over 200 years of stolen human productivity from the Satan globalists and the globalist bankers and the one world, new world order, or whatever they called it, and the deep state. All these people are being taken out, taken down. We will be seeing the SARA and GESARA actually implemented. Those of you who have currency, be ready for a number. I don't know when it's going to come, but I guarantee it's sooner than later. And everybody that we're talking to that has any sort of the Iraqi dinar, the Zimbabwe, the Vietnamese dong, and other currencies are getting ready to collapse on everything around the world on that different dollars. The petrodollar will be gone and bring in the SARA. And, you know, we're done with war. There's no more war. We had to be in a peacetime and then get everything back, have a new military, bring in the global currency reset, and they have done it and are doing it right now. And that brings in the new global currency reset. We have one equivalent currency for everybody in the world, that we can all become one currency, one world, working together to free everybody from all the degradation of society that they planned out, and it's no longer true. And we're going back to an asset-backed, gold-backed currency. So that's it, Mr. Thompson. Thank you very much.
Fantastic, Robert. Awesome. Beautiful. Okay. Let us go to questions. For those of you watching by video, you have a raise hand icon to click on. For those of you who called in by phone, press *9 on your phone. We also have some questions in chat. So while we're waiting for those who wish to speak by voice, Robert, we have some people have asked which currencies you recommend.
The Zimbabwe would be a great asset to hold because it's a bond.
The 2008?
2008 is
uncirculated?
Uncirculated, AA.
Is that the only one recommended?
Yeah, you can get a smaller denomination. You don't have to get the $100 trillion note. You could get a 50 trillion, 100 trillion. You could get a 10 trillion, you know.
And do you have Any recommendations for where people can purchase those?
I believe it's American Coin Company.
Okay.
I can let me look for the.
And of course, we recommend everyone get a natural law trust to title the ownership of the currency to, and have the bank account open and ready before the RV takes place. Roxanne says, how could one retain these currencies?
Once you buy them and you have them in your possession, then you can get ready to go exchange them.
Yeah, the retaining is not really desirable after the RV. You'd want to trade it in for the new global quantum financial system currency.
It's greatamericancoincompany.com.
Some people have been asking about your slides. They like your slides a lot, Robert. And so I told them this Zoom conference will be posted on YouTube, and anyone who wants to play that video back from YouTube can then stop on any of the slides that they want and review them and study them. And the link for that is www.brilliance-videos.com. I posted it in the chat. So Brilliance, that's with a CE at the end, -videos with an S.com is the Brilliance in Commerce YouTube page, and that is where this will be posted, hopefully in the next day or two, as soon as we can get it together.
Yeah, gold. I mean, the ZIM is a gold-backed bond, which makes it a lot more valuable and has to pay the bearer upon redemption, as the other currencies are a currency.
The three biggest being the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnamese dong, and the Zimbabwe bond, right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the reason the Zimbabwe bond would be a greater investment is because the exchange would be greater. So the Zimbabwe bond could be a 1-to-1 ratio, or even if it's 24 cents, it could be $24 million for a $100 trillion note. That's a lot of money. And your investment in that would be about 113, 120, something like that. Delivered to your door, depending on what your shipping is. The $100 trillion 2008 AA uncirculated UNC Zimbabwe note, whatever the denomination you can afford, because they sell them pretty cheap.
Okay, Robert, another of our listeners, Abra, has asked, how do we get on the list to get the call when the RV happens?
I could just send it to you and you could email it to everybody, the 800 number.
Is it not something you can give over on the program now?
Oh, we don't even have it yet. The 800 number will be given out by certain parties across the internet, and some of us will get a text. And once we receive it, then it's up to us to disseminate it out.
So the answer might be stay in touch with those who have connection with these groups.
Yeah.
Yeah, just keep in touch with whoever you know who's already part of the RV network, and it'll be distributed quickly by email and text and telephone.
Literally, they said it shouldn't take more than 10 minutes, if that.
Right.
Once released. Correct. It just won't. I mean, we're all in a position where the minute this is given, you have about, I think, an 8 to 10 day, I think it's an 8-day window from release of those 800 numbers to be able to negotiate terms. Because if you have a plan and you know what to do, what to say, and you have a small organized plan, you can go in there and pretty much get what you ask for. I don't know what it's going to be. Nobody knows between you and the people that you're speaking to, and you're going to sign a non-disclosure agreement that will not allow you to speak to anybody about what you just did or said and what you got. It's nobody's business. So the minute that you sign those documents, just shut up. There's no reason to tell anybody. If anyone asks you, you may be a representative for some trust and you just got hired for some corporation or whatever, and you're just a worker bee. And that keeps you on a protection basis to be, anonymous. You want to hold some sort of privacy, and then just if you got a ride in jets, you don't own it. Whose is it? I don't know. It's owned by this trust that I work with. So there's all these ways to say things that doesn't allow people to know that you're that person. And we're getting together with a whole group of us that are all currency holders because we want to make sure the money goes not into some of these agencies around the world that the CEOs are making $1 million. That's probably not where I want to send my money. We want to be able to put it in people's hands that will be able to do the job creation, which is what it's for, and to free people from just starving. I mean, the homeless situation is crazy. People dying every day. It doesn't make sense.
That's right.
Pharmaceutical drugs. Yeah. And this is why we all got brought here together.
In other words, everyone needs to learn how to become a philanthropist.
Yeah, that's their whole job. That's your new job, really. If you're a currency holder, you have an obligation. And with this new obligation is a lot of dough comes a lot of responsibility. And it's going to be fun work. You don't have to tell everybody what you're doing. You can just start companies with people or joint venture with people. It's a new way of doing business. I don't expect everybody on this call to go out and start a business. If you would like to, then there's all kinds of services that will help you to start it and do everything from an employee manual to accounting. Everything can be done for you. You got to have the idea because you've got the money. When you have the capital, we can show you how to take capital, make more capital, and then create a living legacy so it self-funds itself. There's different ways to have different vehicles that are called income, and then the other ones are liabilities. And when you balance things out, you always make more money, but no one shows you those programs. That's why wealth managers will manage your money. Don't try to do this yourself. I understand something about money, but I don't do it, and I wouldn't do it myself. I'd hire team upon team that allows me to have the freedom to go to a meeting or not, to have a proxy, and that individual goes and they report back to you or your assistant. I mean, this is going to be one of the most incredible rides in the human history, the greatest transfer of wealth ever in the history of the planet called Earth. And you guys, we all on this call got to witness this transference of this wealth. We are now in a position where it is literally to befall us and become the living legacies forever if you want. I mean, if you want to go, you can go, I'm sure. But I choose to stay. We know we have technologies that allow you to live thousands of years. Who knows what beyond that? But let's just go. If I'm happy to go 500 years, we have the technology to do that, and it's so advanced. Just be ready, man. And if you need some guidance, reach out to Tonson. I'm sure he'd be willing to give you, Christine, or my number to speak to you guys personally, because there's so much to do so fast in a short amount of time, Tonson.
Beautifully said, Robert. Thank you. So eloquent, and you've given basically the vision of the seers and the sages. Abra also asked, how do we know if the Zim is circulated or uncirculated? And Abra, I'll just answer that that's stated by a reputable dealer when you buy it. He'll say it's uncirculated, and it better be accurate. If he's reputable, it'll be uncirculated. You can tell when it comes because it'll come in a plastic wrapper, and it's like fresh off the press. Any other comments, Robert?
Yeah, somebody says, do you believe that Metacratic Council is being formed to globally guide all of us into the new 5D world? Probably. I mean, I believe that we're all going to a one world system, all working together. I know of and do read some of Ben Benjamin Fulford's posts. You can't take anything anyone says for what it is. I mean, you just must use your own discernment. Read it all, digest it all, do your own research, and then pray about it, literally. Meditate on it and see, does that feel good? Because believe it or not, your heart has more neurons in your brain. And if you understand that concept, that's why people always go, check your gut. Well, that's down here pretty much. If you feel sick, it's not a good thing. If you feel happy or good or joyful about it, then it's probably a good move. If you know in your heart it ain't good, then you better back off. It's when you second guess yourself. So yeah, I believe it. Is there an 8-day window to process the RV? The 8-day windows for negotiations, just for people that want to negotiate. And if you don't, they're going to open it up after the 8 days for the public, and the public gets to go in there and do their exchanges. And they just want whatever the international rate is on the bank screen when they just walk in to do that exchange. Recommending wealth managers.
I'm just posting one option for wealth managers.
Cool.
On our website, we have a section private placement platform.
You have and can recommend. And so Tonson's got that individual. Take the time to know who you're talking to and do your due diligence with that person. They'll give you time to find a wealth management firm that you feel good about. And so Tonson's recommending one. I can assure you that's going to be a good way to go. If you don't want to use that one, there's other people out there. They're going to give you some time. It'll be 30 days or less or more, whatever you desire, to be able to move your money into a wealth management firm that will create a trust for you. One will be created automatically for you at the time of the exchange.
John asks, should we be cautioned in all the artificial intelligence and human interfaces some would like to create? I do not trust any man or machine combination, Borg or similar.
That's correct. And that's why we do have the quantum financial system, which is highly capable of being not hackable and not to be viral to where we're receiving some sort of an outside virus. And your concerns are very, very valid. We know that this system cannot be hacked or taken apart or infiltrated or be attacked in any way.
Also, new technology is going to reveal any adverse influence from anyone's machine in real time and be caught within a few minutes or a few seconds anywhere on the planet.
Anywhere on the planet.
So anyone trying to do any harm, any interception or any obstruction to life-supporting safe influences will be caught.
Absolutely. This is a whole new world. And all of you guys, I'm sure, are very, very aware of the sensitivity of surveillance. It's beyond the beyond. They're listening to you all the time, 24/7, and they know exactly where you are, especially if you are on this call. You're a light worker. You're somebody that's a currency holder. You're somebody that is here for doing God's work and to replenish this planet the way it was supposed to be, free. That's right. Everything is and can be free. There's nothing that we need to do in commerce, as they call it. We can flip that whole paradigm around, and that's why Tonson had the vision that he had. He knew in his heart that we would all be in a utopian society because that's the way it's supposed to be. It's called the golden age for a reason. We're hitting the Aquarian age. The time of that time is now. And we literally are writing our own history. We're coming into beings that will do things that has just never been done. And all of us can now participate at a level to show the rest of the fellow humans on the planet that, hey, there's a new way of living, and it's called love, peace, and joy. Cryptos. What about cryptos? As long as they're gold back, I think some of the other cryptocurrencies are falling apart because they were also cabal or deep state owned and orchestrated. Yeah, if anyone else had any other questions on some basic stuff on structures and what to say, what to do, and how to go through your process, then we're here to help you. Thank you, Tonson, so much. I hope I was a value to you guys, and thank you, Christine, for sharing.
Well, fantastic. Absolutely, Robert. How long do you want to go? Do you want to wrap it up now, or do you want to keep taking questions?
I can keep taking questions. We're not in any hurry.
What about up until the top of the hour? How's that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Lori says, does anyone have ideas about new public transportation? I would just say bring out the hovercraft. They've been here.
Oh, no. All these different new technologies, anti-gravity technologies, will allow the transport vehicle to just hover pretty much. So you're right. And that's just one of the technologies. They have technologies you can zip across the planet and to be on the other side of the world in 45 minutes. All this technology is already here. That's the frustrating part, is knowing that they've kept it from us and made us use fuel to clog up the air and cause more death and disease, and have a revolving door relationship with your doctor in the hospital or surgery or something. And none of that was true. It was never designed to actually heal you. It was there to patch you up and cause more sickness and death and side effects that do not allow you to be in your higher vibration. That's why people say, go take a walk in nature. The amount of energy that comes off of the trees or the bushes or anything else is amazing. And if you guys understand frequency and vibration, you can actually destroy a tree by talking to it and hating it, or loving it and hugging it, and it will do the same to you. And it's been proven that frequency on words, your vibrational frequency, your thoughts, have impact and power. So if I was to think something in this moment, that I would cause a creative disturbance in your vibration because of my thoughts. And that's why they always use so much death and killing and violence on everything that you see through Hollywood. That's another thing that's about to change, is Hollywood. You're going to see and witness a lot of people that have been manipulating all of us through the television and media, that is causing some of the disturbance in our society today, and why you don't even know you're being programmed.
A few people have asked, do you want to give, actually maybe a better way, instead of you having to give it on this conference, is do you refer people to any guide anywhere about what to say and how to handle the exchange? Should they subscribe to someone's newsletter? Should they go to a certain website for that kind of information?
You know, I have some information I can email you if they want to contact me directly, and I can guide them through it since they're a first timer. Some of the groups that I'm still with have closed their groups. They're not sharing the information anymore. I still have a lot of my own private emails that I can give you some basic outlines of what to say, bank perks to ask for, just some basic, 1, 2, 3s, literally fill in the blanks that will allow you to be prepared when you go into a meeting.
All right. Do you wish to give that out to the conference?
Yeah, I can give my email. Is that what you need?
If you want to, that's fine.
Yeah, I can just type it in there.
And while you're doing that, one of the questions from Mark is, given the changes with Basel III and IV to the entire global financial system, once the RV funds are received, will the existing financial programs be available, or will the new financial systems do away with the trade platforms and high yield programs that were established after Bretton Woods? Won't the entire new financial system change the way we do business and interact?
I would want to believe so, that most of that is bank debentures. So I don't know. I mean, we're going to find out immediately after. I would imagine with the quantum financial system, all of that would just go away. I wish I knew that answer. I don't know until we've gone in an exchange. If they're still going to do the trading platforms, to what level, don't know. They have trade platforms using assets already, and those assets are using these standby letters of credit. They call them a bank guarantee. And these instruments, as they call them, are all digital now as well, and they are asset backed. Now, the days of bank debentures where they just make up thin air type paper, I believe that's gone. And I believe that with the quantum financial system, they can eliminate that immediately. I believe that. So
Someone else asked a similar question. Do you think the stock market will go away? And basically, the higher worlds just have a variety of distribution and manifestation systems and technologies so that everyone on the planet can have anything they want or need as long as it doesn't interfere with the rights of others.
Yeah, exactly. So as we're setting up trust and support systems in an old system, will that change after the RV? Actually, it will, because the natural law trust is one of the best I've ever seen. But the new situation that will be announced is the New Republic. And the New Republic allows us to be on a sovereign rule rather than maritime rule. And that's something that your trust is protected on.
Right. The natural law trust is designed to survive into the golden age with the principles that apply to universal natural law beyond, just the protocols of any particular dispensation. So it can go on generation after generation.
Yep, that's correct. The stock market will go away. I don't think it's going to go away. It won't be manipulated the way it is being manipulated right now, I can assure you. Yeah, my email, I put it, it's still right up there. I think, yeah, I'm in the group chat. I put it in there. Anil, did you get that? rhsakahara@gmail.com. Yeah, this currency thing is very, very real, and you can never talk about it. So is it real?
Absolutely. I'm going to give some contact info here at the end too to everyone. We'll go over to my slides again, and we'll conclude here with everyone just know that there are tips of icebergs here that basically Robert has shared tips of icebergs. There is so much more under everything he showed. That was amazing, Robert, your tour de force of slides and of information. Every one of those images had volumes of education, lifetimes of learning behind it, didn't it?
Yeah, it's actually Christine and I have been sharing information. So you're
Yeah,
125 years of information.
that was a whirlwind. That was amazing. That's beautiful. I love that. So there's much more where all this came from, everyone. So this next Wednesday, this week from today, on March 13th, 2019, we will have our Natural Law Trust webinar with our guest speaker, Randall Hillner. And you can get that information at house-of-freedom-trust.com and past webinars at brilliance-videos.com. So this concludes a Robert Sakahara, Christine, and Tonson. We are here for you, everyone, and thank you, our friends and brothers and sisters, for joining us and co-creating a golden age together. Every one of you.
Hey, Tonson.
Subscribe to our newsletter if you haven't already on our website, and also our phone number 360-200-7521 for those who need it. And Robert, to be continued. Perhaps we'll do this again. We'll let everyone know through the newsletter.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Namaste, my brother.